Welcome back to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. To be part of our super community and find out more about Eliances, visit www.Eliances.com.
All right, so we're back, and it's a rocking and rolling today. A lot of activity happening, a lot of things that are going on in the world and the news. And thank you again. Just keep that feedback coming. You know where to go, Eliances.com, then click on the radio. And I appreciate the feedback when I recently had on the co-founder of CNBC. Yeah, they're all over the place, right? Co-founder of CNBC. Make sure that you go to Eliances.com. That's Eliances.com, and you will see the link for radio and many other activities taking place there. Well, I'm excited. We've got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about airtime, turning it into currency, what that is, how does it work, and how you're going to be able to benefit from that. So welcome to the show, Babar Yousuf, owner of Pineapple.World. And by the way, again, you'll see the link below of how to reach him going to Pineapple.World, Pineapple.World. Welcome to the show, Babar.
Thank you very much, David. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. Yes, we're glad that you're here. So, Babar, tell me now, again, I love the name, by the way, Pineapple.World. It's just so easy to remember in that. But describe to us really, what is Pineapple.World?
Well, Pineapple is a mobile airtime platform which makes wealth accessible to anyone recharging mobile minutes. Now, put that into context, 4.5 billion people around the world spend 650 billion a year on prepaid mobile minutes with no accruing benefits. So with Pineapple, we treat mobile minutes like digital money to create an airtime banking system. Buying and holding airtime in bulk becomes an income-bearing current account. So Pineapple is now connected with 904 mobile network operators in 154 countries. By recharging airtime via Pineapple, any prepaid mobile user on any telecom carrier's plan can earn profit on their mobile airtime balance and make their airtime multifunctional. I mean, with multifunctional, airtime can be used to make calls and browse the internet as usual, but now those minutes are all purpose and can be used to make purchases online and offline, to send or receive value locally or internationally, or convert that airtime balance into any major currency or cryptocurrency with a click.
Wow.
So we turn airtime into currency.
That's a big deal.
Yes, we sure think so.
All right. So maybe just walk us through though, like how does that like exactly work? Like how does the process go? Somebody will sign up at Pineapple.World, and then how do they kind of, is it, I'm trying to just understand a little bit more kind of how that process works. I mean, that's absolutely amazing what you just said. I get it and understand it, but how does one, so if I've got a cell phone, what do I do?
So, right now we are going through this procedural release of the product because, we live in a very highly regulated market. And so the first thing we are releasing is to resellers. We have the reseller and the end user. The reseller is your corner store merchant in the United States, in Canada, all over the world, who sell prepaid mobile airtime. And then there's the end consumer who buys the airtime and consumes it. So at this point, we are releasing the product to merchants and stores via partnerships with distributors who have hundreds or even thousands of stores. That way, our scale is sort of very well managed, and we don't have to run after independent merchants. We have a partner; they have many stores. We can scale within them, and so this is where we are. And as a natural recourse, their customers start using Pineapple. So at this point, we are not like you can go in and start getting coin on our website, but we are in the process. At this point, we are releasing the airtime recharge product.
Oh, I'm sure there's going to be a tremendous amount of enhancements and things that added on. I mean, you've got a wealth of experience. In fact, I think it's important for our audience to know is that you were part of building one of the world's biggest microfinance banks and mobile payment systems. So you've got the wealth of experience. So no question about that. And
I was
again, you can
fortunate to be part of the team, though. Yeah.
yeah, and it definitely, I'm sure it takes a lot of people to make things work. And again, you could reach Babar by going to Pineapple.World, Pineapple.World. So I mean, it's amazing. How is the Web 3.0? Let's talk about that. How's the Web 3.0 different from Web 2.0 as in the internet as we know it?
That's a great question, because we're seeing this remarkable time where Web 2.0, or the internet as we know it, is moving into what we're calling Web 3. And Web 3 is different because Web 3 is transactional. In very simple words, it's the internet of money. You can program a value to almost anything. It's programmable money, from a person's time and attention to exchange traded securities, assets like property or goods and services, or David, really anything, even a picture of a cat or ape, and create an independent, autonomous economy around it. You can automatically circulate its value. You can stake it, collateralize it. I mean, a lot of people must have seen NFTs like Bored Ape Yacht Club and CryptoPunks, which is art worth millions, because their consumer community thinks it's art worth millions, not because an auction house decides so. So it's a huge revolution, which is Web 3.0, by which you can give almost virtually value to anything and create a community and almost a banking system around it. Anyone can.
It's phenomenal. How did you come up with the idea of Pineapple.World? Where was it conceived from?
That's a very good one. David, I come from a world where, it's always, a financial institution or something has a very pretentious, big sounding name, Black River, Red Rock or whatever. And it's all about profit and making money. And our co-founders and I, we are social impact people. We believe that a triple bottom line, which is profit, people, and planet, can be carried at the same time. So we thought that our brand needs to come across as fresh and sweet. And so we like pineapple, and we thought it'd be a great representation for what we want to do for our customer.
Excellent. And again, you're listening, watching me, David Kogan, host of the Eliances Hero Show. Make sure that you go to Eliances.com. That's Eliances.com, the only place where entrepreneurs align, because we're talking with today Babar Yousuf, owner of Pineapple.World. You can reach him by going to Pineapple.World. You'll see the link below here too. So make sure, again, you go to Pineapple.World. And a lot of things are going to be coming down on that site as far as all these enhancements and new programs and that. In fact, Babar, you're part of the Eliances community. You come to various experiences of Eliances, and I know a lot of people want to talk to you, and you speak with international CEOs and startups and founders and investors. What's the experience been like you being part of the Eliances community?
What brings me to Eliances is remarkable. Eliances is a very diverse community. People are very friendly. It's like, whenever I'm there, it's a very, everybody's out there to help you, and it feels like a real community. I've been part of Eliances for, almost 2 years now, and I love it.
And that's excellent. And we look forward to having you continue in that, because again, and what you offer and can help others too. I mean, this is, what you're doing. It's a very technical space, right? I mean, it's very technical. It's especially with all the various programming, and you mentioned about the carriers and pulling together all of these pieces. For someone, maybe you can give some advice who may be in a different industry, but yet still trying to pull all these pieces. I mean, again, having even been part of the microfinance banks, helping with a team, world's biggest microfinance banks and mobile payments, like how do you pull together so many different resources to even make it happen in anything?
Oh, David, that's such a good question. That comes down to from my personal experience. It really comes down to understanding the culture of any new innovation that's happening. It comes down to culture. You have to take that step down from the boardroom and other things and sit down with where it's happening. Sit down with engineers. And in my case, I spent uh, most of my career on the emerging side, sitting and getting hands on with everyone I work with. And so that's one thing. You need to have an intense curiosity to learn new things and be able to come out of your box at any point. Everybody has a box. Everybody has a ceiling. You have to continuously keep breaking your ceiling on learning and culture. That's one of those important things. And another very important thing is that all of this complexity you mentioned, it matters, but to the end consumer, to most people who are completely non-technical, it has to come across as simply automatic or very exciting with absolutely no complexity. Just like a television, you don't care what's happening behind the wires, what the satellite is doing. You just want to watch a great show. So that's how it is for most people. And that ultimately is the biggest challenge of Web3 people, making it fun and relatable to non-technical consumers. And that's where the real challenge is. And I feel that that's where we kind of excel with what we're doing.
Babar, what does Pineapple.World, what resources, what things are you looking for? What things are needed to continue to get to the next step, whether it be specific skill sets of hiring, whether it be, perhaps investments, connections? What are you looking for?
Right. So we've been in doing work backstage for about 2 years to be in a position where we now have alliances for release. We have the software. We have some investment in. We are provisioning more. What we are looking basically for is anyone who is interested in innovation and social impact, and taking a moment to see what we're doing and really coming to us with some sort of good feeling about Pineapple. We're looking for supporters and a community that genuinely likes what we're doing.
That's great. And I need to ask you too, because you're in the field of technology, and with the ever so changing, I mean, it is changing so fast. What's some of the best maybe resources that you've found to be able to keep up to date on what's going on within the whole internet and technology world?
Yeah. Well, it's a very, very broad question because you could be interested in artificial intelligence, or what quantum computing is going to contribute towards artificial intelligence, or trade, or finance, or biotech. So it all starts with joining the right people with online communities. I mean, you have to do a lot of reading to find what you like, and it's not just some kind of a one-stop solution I can give you. It comes down to a person's own choices and value systems and what they resonate with. And some people resonate with one kind of culture, the other with some other kind of culture. Cointelegraph, Morales, these are all things that we are very into, which is deep Web3. So yeah, certainly not Forbes and and Inc.
Right.
and so forth, because that's very surface level knowledge. But if you want to get
Sure.
into it, then you got to get into it.
Well, what kind of advice or secrets would you share though with somebody who's a finance student now, really where the industry is headed within the next 10 years, and perhaps how they can be successful within that industry as you have been?
Well, David, very honestly, I would the advice I can give young people is, from a very early stage, be conscious of where the money is, where the investments are going. You and align yourself to see where the capital volumes are in new innovation, because that it's a kind of a natural way for the market to behave. Where the money is what's going to grow. So other than curriculums, other than projects at school, you got to have a very conscious idea of what people are doing to scale their projects in real life. A lot of, I'll give you an example. When we were back in business school, I mean, what we did was spent a lot of time making projects and submitting, and then what we got was a score. But now in many of the best universities, those projects, by the time a student graduates, is a startup. So, that's the difference. It's more
Interesting.
practical value, and integration with the mainstream.
Well, Babar, you're at the forefront certainly of technology. With your career, you've created such advancements in banking and mobile payment industries. That's a hero. Make sure you reach out to Babar, owner and CEO of Pineapple.World. Again, Pineapple.World. Babar, this is awesome, incredible, and can't wait to see how things develop within Pineapple.World.
Thank you, David. It's a pleasure being here with you and Eliances.